And we continue to track that as this storm front continues to blow through the central part of Oklahoma. Mike Morgan and the forewarned storm team continue to track the latest, and the radar shows that some of the weakening is happening in the metro, and our chasers are on the road following the exact latest information. Let's get back on over to Mike with the latest as this storm front continues to blow to the east side now of our viewing area.
Brent, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and give you kind of an overview here. We have one tornado warning in effect, and that is going to be for Lincoln County. Our storm trackers, of course, are still out. We're tracking them eastward, the tornado watch, until 10 p.m. tonight. It does continue. If you live west of I-35 or near I-35, you're clear, except for the area from Purcell down to Ardmore. That's where it's still about to cross I-35. But you're clear. It's cooled off a lot, the upper level disturbance coming in. Flood advisories continue for much of the metro, but the water's starting to come down. Rainfall rates 2.5 inches per hour, but the rain's done a pretty good job at moving on by. So here's Osage County on down into Pawnee County. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Pawnee County down to Glencoe, over toward Jennings and Tarleton and Merrimack. Tracking to the east over toward Cleveland and Keystone Lake. Severe thunderstorm warnings there. And then we have the activity picking up near and east of Guthrie. Rain's starting to taper off in Guthrie. Rain's done a good job at tapering off in Edmond. Man, it poured in Edmond. Edmond had a lot of rain. Local totals here, locally over 1.5 inches to approaching 1.75 inches in a pretty good part of the metros. And local, the heaviest amounts are right at 2 inches or so. And it did it in a really short period of time. That's why the flood advisories have been in effect. But as you can see, the rain's going to be more spotty, maybe pockets of some pea-size hail, maybe a few dimes going forward. But the threat for tornadoes in Oklahoma County now is gone down to 0, and no threat to the west as well. The line has pushed on by. Power outages, 10,000 customers, affecting about 30,000 folks, and biggest hail was about 2 inches in diameter in parts of Norman. We had tornado warnings, of course, for Norman out of the Chickasha area, and right now one tornado warning for Lincoln County. But other than that, a lot of good rain and some gusty winds, 50, 60, locally 70. 70 was out there on the west side of town. But that's exactly what happened as it came through the metro. So all things considered, so far so good. Definitely so far so good. And that's good to be able to say that. That one tornado warning there just to the southwest of Chandler. And we'll go to the velocities here and kind of check all this out. Things can happen and change very quickly, so let's go ahead and update you on that tornado warning. Still very much a sign of tornadoes there to the southwest of Warwick, so tornado warning very much continues for Warwick, Route 66. So take your tornado precautions. Eric Dixon joins us live. Eric?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here in Tecumseh. Looking over here at the Toccomaw, you can see the high winds are coming down Highway 9 heading east. I don't have any visible damage at the moment, but the winds are definitely intensifying. So, people need to take their shelter. We're over here where that original notch was, but it's kind of been, occluding back, but the winds are here with it. So we're going to keep an eye on it and back to the east to you. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Eric. That is down around Tecumseh. So that's an area still definitely to watch very carefully. So let's go back over to the velocities and look where we are right now. So that tornado warning over Lincoln County continues. No tornado warnings anywhere in Oklahoma County. Our threat for tornadoes is over for Oklahoma County. Still, though, likely a tornado now coming into Warwick, right over Warwick right now. It's been moving basically due northeastward, almost northeastward. So now it's crossing over the Turner out there at Warwick and Wellston. So that is a tornado warning continuing there. Definitely a strong indication of a tornado there. Lifting to the northeast. Won't come too far from Kearney up there north of Warwick and Wellston, all right? So southeast side of Kearney, definitely pay attention. That is a tornado warning. Pretty good velocity winds on the south side of that as well, but that one tornado warning there, trying to go up toward Kearney in Lincoln County. It's going to go west of Chandler the way it looks. Here's what Eric was just talking about. There's areas of localized wind shear underneath that original supercell and mesocyclone there, but something has not really been able to close off in terms of a vigorous circulation there, but a lot of wind shear, so some potential to get some redevelopment in northern Pottawatomie County. So you folks around Shawnee and Tecumseh, up toward Dale and McLeod, and then up towards 62 around Meeker you folks stay alert. You're not under a tornado warning, but a lot of wind shear there. That one tornado warning right over Warwick and Route 66 and the Turner Turnpike. Things have calmed down considerably in the Norman area. You're in good shape there. Look at that bow there speeding out ahead with some high velocity winds. Shawnee and Tecumseh locally winds up to about 70 miles per hour. So that storm is still quite severe over in Pottawatomie County. Damian Lotus joins us live. Damian?
Yeah, Mike, in addition to the strong winds and the tornado threat we've seen so far today, we're also going to now start to transition to more of a flooding rain and a wind threat here as we head throughout the next couple of hours. We have over 10,000 customers without power, and that's just from OG&E, not the local co-ops here across parts of the state. So power outages is going to be a huge thing here as we head throughout the next couple of hours as these storms continue to sweep their way through the state. So here's the latest on the power outages. 10,000. These are customers, not people. These are just houses, buildings, businesses without power here for the Oklahoma City Metro. So this is primarily caused by the wind. Some lightning can cause some of these, but yeah, lots of people still without power here as we head into the evening and then overnight hours here for tonight. But OG&E, they're prepared for it. They're going to continue to make their way across parts of central Oklahoma to get that taken care of. So who do we got right here? This is Eric Dixon. He's near Tecumseh. So Eric, we're looking at your stream right now. That's still got some blowing spray out there, so heavy rainfall. Flooding is going to be an issue. What would you estimate the winds are right there in your shot?
You maybe have a 50, 60 mile an hour winds coming across here. You know, this stuff's coming straight to the east. We're going to watch this real close and follow it to the east with you. Back to you.
All right, Derek, so as you're making your way out there, we're going to continue to watch that. Then we got Mark Dillard. He's still making his way out here. So, Mark, we're looking at your stream. You're near Loves, and, yeah, still seeing that blowing spray, heavy rainfall. You were talking about hydroplaning earlier on some of the highways here across parts of the state. How are the road conditions there? How are the intersections with the flooding and the winds that you got right there?
But it's what I like to refer to as a ground hurricane when we get winds of about 50, 60, going to 70. With blowing spray, it's a mess. We're here in Tecumseh, and I'm with George Weaver, and I just want you guys to look at some of this spray that's coming off of here as we pull in. It's just pouring rain, and you know, the gutters are full and overspilling, and then the streets are filling up pretty fast. So it is a full-blown maelstrom out here, just with this driving rain, and we're actually you know, just on the bowing edge there of that southern section of where the original tornadic circulation is. It's kind of split into those two bow sections there, and we're on the leading edge at Tecumseh of that south bow section. So we're driving along. It's got the curbs filling up fast with rain. It's really coming down. So just want folks to be careful if they've got to get out and about. I'd let the storm pass by and take a few minutes before you've got to get out and about. But it's really coming down, and sideways rain with the wind. It's pretty nasty. Haven't had any hail since Norman to speak of. So that's one good thing, but it is really coming down. Also watch out for in these winds, any kind of power line or tree damage. We've seen an immense amount of tree damage back in Caddo County near the Anadarko area when we were chasing earlier down that way, along with power outages. So be prepared for that. Back to you, buddy.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. So we still have that line of showers and thunderstorms continue here across I-35. One tornado warning still in effect here for the Oklahoma City Metro. So we still have some dangerous conditions here as we head throughout the next couple of hours, not only because of the tornado threat, but also the flooding rainfall, the strong winds as you're seeing right there. So Corey Inman, we're looking at your shot right now. And I also have to say that in addition to the winds and the tornadoes and the hail that we've been tracking, these storms are putting on quite a light show. So that can cause some problems as well. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, Damien, I'm on 177 about 8 miles south of Tecumseh. Really the same thing going on down here that Eric and Dillard were reporting, just a lot of very heavy rain and strong winds, and as you can see by the shot there, just a tremendous amount of lightning. Visibilities are down to about maybe 20 yards at the time here on 177, so this thing just continues to trek on to the east, and as we transition away from the tornado threat, the damaging wind threat is becoming evident here in the Tecumseh area, Damien.
All right, Corey, thank you so much. So, yeah, this is what we've been talking about all day. We have a multi-risk factor severe weather outbreak going on here for today. In addition to the tornadoes, we've had strong winds knocking down power lines, taking power out for a lot of folks. We've had hail, we've had winds, we've had the flooding rainfall, lots of lightning out there. This is a pretty good light show going on out here. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap here for the power outages across the state of Oklahoma. So you can see why right there with that. So first, this is OG&E, over 10,500 customers, not people, customers. So whenever you start to factor in just how many businesses and houses this could be over 50,000 people right now just from OG&E without power here for parts of central into eastern Oklahoma. So that's OG&E. Let's go and show you the other power outage map that we got here for you. And this one's going to be pretty impressive as well. So for this one, what do we got right here as far as total power outages? Do they have the number on here? I can't really see this one. So okay, so this one has 11,000, almost 500. So you add the 11,500 to the 10,500. If my Oklahoma City Public School education is going to help me out with that, that's about 22,000 people or 22,000 customers without power. So Mike, is that right? My Oklahoma City Public School education. I also went to OU. They got a pretty good math department down there as well. So yeah, 22,000 customers without power here across the state of Oklahoma. That's pretty impressive, and as these storms continue to make their way into eastern parts of the state, they still got every bit of 50, 60, 70 mile an hour straight line wind gusts with them. So we're going to continue to watch those power outages continue here across the state. And as you can see right here with Corey Inman's shot, yeah, not only the wind's going to be causing some power outages, but lightning. Lightning can strike the transformers, they can strike trees and knock over everything. So Eric, we're looking at your shot right now. So tell us a little bit. We heard Mark talk about it. We heard Corey talk about it. So far, it's sounding like the hail threat is going down. Is that what you're seeing out whenever you're chasing right now, too?
Definitely, Damon. I haven't seen any hail really in the Tecumseh area. We just got a torrential amount of rain out here. It is like a hurricane out here. The winds are still pretty high. You can look and notice at that St. Clair station, people are taking cover just to get out of this rain. You can barely see. And as you're looking at the shot, the power is trying to go out in the town, so we're going to have some intermittent power failure out here. We're going to keep an eye out for you. Back to you, Damien.
All right, Eric, thanks so much. So, yeah, this is what we're going to be dealing with here as these storms continue to push their way into eastern Oklahoma. Here for the metro, they are starting to lighten up a little bit, but we still have that tornado warning in effect. Let's go and switch over, show you Max 2 here for the radar presentation. We also got some pictures we want to show you. So this is from Penn and Covell from Jill. She sent this one in, and this is what we were seeing earlier here for the Oklahoma City metro. And then Morgan sent this one in. Golf ball size hail made its way across parts of the Oklahoma City metro. People were taking shelter, and we had the tornado sirens sounding all the way from southwestern Oklahoma, all the way through Norman, Choctaw, all the way off to our east. Kimberly sent this one in. That's golf ball size hail right there from Norman as well. So very dangerous conditions. And here's a video from Kimberly from that same hail, that golf ball size hail we were showing you earlier that made its way through Norman. Yeah, this is what we were looking at. And we had John Slater down in Norman earlier. We could barely hear him whenever he was giving us his storm report just because of how loud that hail was. I think he also said that he had a cracked windshield. So, yeah, it sounded like Slater had a cracked windshield here from the hail sizes. So this is a video earlier. I think this is from Slater. Is this the flooding video from Norman? Looks like it. We all know if you've ever been down in Norman, yeah, Norman floods really bad, probably one of the worst parts in the state as far as flooding. So this is the hail video from John Slater down in Norman earlier. So what you're seeing right here is pretty impressive. But if you were watching our coverage earlier, yeah, whenever we were talking to Slater, you could barely hear him because of how loud that hail was. And that's in a vehicle. It's the same thing or in houses and businesses as well. So that's what we were looking at for that. Let's go and switch back over and give you a radar presentation here as we're tracking. Still got that severe thunderstorm warning, a pretty big box here. Pretty much anything to the east of Oklahoma City, you're fair game for a severe thunderstorm warning. We still have that tornado warning in effect right now for Chandler making its way up the highway. So Chandler, Stroud up to the northeast. We're going to continue to watch that. Josephine, hey man, you're making your way out towards Luther. Looks like you're on the turnpike heading up to the northeast. Not looking like the rainfall is as heavy as what we were tracking down at Tecumseh, but still those roads can get pretty slick and hydroplaning can be an issue with those heavy rainfall totals.
Yeah, that's definitely right, Damien. You can encounter some ponding out here on the highway, but going to get off here at Wellston exit here pretty soon and look for any damage there. Maybe head up towards the Chandler area, see if I can see anything up there. But yeah, right now I'm just on the back side of this storm as it pushes through, but trying to catch up to it to find any sort of damage. But anybody in the path of these storms just need to go ahead and take some tornado precautions with possible QLCS that might happen. Or, you know, they're real brief, but if they come down in your area, they can cause some serious damage, you know. But just continue to track it as it pushes off to the east. If I find anything, I'll report back to you. Back to you.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. So Kevin's going to be on the one tornado warning storm that we have still going on here in the state, making his way up towards Chandler, Luther up there towards Wellston, Stroud, Davenport up there. So, Mike, we still have that one tornado warning in effect right now. The hail threat looks like it's come down, but we still got to worry about these dangerous conditions.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good, though, for most of the metro now. And here's one more hail picture from Kimberly down in Norman. So right at pretty much a solid golf ball. There's a quarter. Looks kind of small, so it's a solid golf ball down in Norman. Norman definitely took the worst in terms of the severe weather today with the widespread hail up to golf ball and about 2 inches in diameter. So here's the lowdown. Here's the latest right now. Most of the power outages are in Canadian, Grady, and Caddo counties. And they're a little bit less in Oklahoma, McLean, and Cleveland counties. But that's where most of the power outages are. Mesocyclone is the strongest down there. But right now we're talking about between 10 and 15,000 customers without power. If you live anywhere near I-35 or west of I-35, you basically are clear, except for the I-35 corridor from about Wynnewood down to Ardmore. Still right over I-35 in that part of the state. So we're looking really good. We've gotten by with several tornadoes today. Most of these were down here in Kiowa and Caddo counties. May have had a couple of brief touchdowns down near Norman. We'll have to see with the light of day tomorrow whether or not we can confirm that. But it sure looked like on radar we may have had a couple of brief touchdowns near and west of Norman a little bit earlier. But that now has all cleared Norman and Moore and Edmond and Oklahoma City and all of Oklahoma City and Midwest City as well. A lot of severe thunderstorm warnings off to our east. One area of potential tornadic activity just southeast of Kearney in Lincoln County. Let's go show you as we zoom on in radar. So the main upper level disturbance now coming on out. We'll have scattered thunder showers tonight, little pockets of small hail, pea-size hail, shot-size hail. There might get a couple of dimes going maybe at best with the cold core low, the cold air aloft coming on out. But the threat for tornadoes now totally over for Oklahoma City. And that's very good news. So up here in Osage County, heavy rain and some wind. Fairfax down to the Pawnee area. And then severe storms around Kearney, Lincoln County, near Chandler, pretty good wind. High winds also coming through Shawnee, Tecumseh. Mark Dillard just showed you that. Meeker, pretty good wind, heavy rain, some pockets of hail, severe thunderstorm warnings there. Oklahoma County looking much, much better now. And pockets of moderately heavy rain and some small shot-size hail coming into the west side of Oklahoma City, but not a big problem there at all. And now east of Shawnee and near and east of Tecumseh, pretty good gust front, 65, 70 coming out right there. Here's the velocities for Oklahoma County. Winds have really come down. You can see the hotter velocities over here by Chandler. Big gust front just pushed through Chandler. And over here by the north side of Shawnee, it looks to me like perhaps another tornado forming on the northeast panhandle of Pottawatomie County. This tornado looks like it may have weakened and may have gone away. Just looking at it right here on the southeast side of Kearney. All right, so it looks like that tornado may have quite possibly dissipated or is in the process of dissipating. Still a tornado warning from Kearney up to about Agra in northern Lincoln County. But it is not nearly what it was, and that is good. Now, this area here is pretty interesting. Looks like a tornado is developing near Johnston right now. So this is the panhandle of, brand new tornado warning. Panhandle here of Pottawatomie County. So that's going to be a tornado developing on the north side of I-40, southwest of Prague. So Prague, heads up, because this is ramping up fast. This is the original mesocyclone that was the troublemaker all the way back down into the Altus area about 5 hours ago. So this still has a potential of producing a significant tornado. It's not a QLCS, it's an actual supercell mesocyclone tornado here forming. And that is a tornado warning. And it looks like it could be on the ground just north of I-40 by a couple of miles. due southwest of Prague, pushing to the northeast, so southeastern Lincoln County, the panhandle of Pottawatomie County. That is a brand new tornado warning. Mark Dillard's right there. He's showing you the high winds. Let's go to him with a live update. Mark?
Yes, Mike. I'm just coming up to I-40 at Shawnee, and as we talked about, those things can spin up very, very quickly. So, you know, a lot of intersections of twisting winds and a lot of dynamics going on with this storm system. So, no surprise that spun up again. So, folks off to the north and east of Shawnee, the Johnson area, and eventually up towards Prague, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions as this thing spun up just really, really quickly. Looking at it on radar, it's pulling away just to the north of the I-40 area. So we're hopping on I-40 at Shawnee here, Mike. We just came out of Tecumseh, so we're going to try to head on east and try to catch up back with it, maybe cut it off at Prague. Back to you.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant circulation here. It looks like potentially a pretty significant tornado forming right now. I mean, this is the real deal. The real deal for you folks southwest of Prague and southeast of Meeker, all right? Southwest of Prague, southeast of Meeker, looks like very much the real deal going on right now. So you folks in the Prague area, definitely take your tornado precautions, all right? So we'll see whether or not it, passes right over or very close to Prague.